Welcome to all of you who want to learn good English, fluent English, and correct English. Please write in the comment box whether this video helps you and in what all ways you improve your English using this video. Today, we are going to talk about Proverbs. Human history and all the wisdom of human history goes into the making of some famous sayings. These are called proverbs. These sayings might not have the literal meaning, that means the dictionary meaning. That is not what it is. It has a deep inner meaning, and you have to understand that meaning and use it appropriately in the right places. When you speak or when you write an essay, for instance, using a proverb is a very good strategy. If you use proverbs when you are giving a lecture, when you are talking about a topic where a suitable proverb is available, that would be an excellent way of impressing your audience. When you use proverbs, the listener knows that your English is really good. So if you want to prove that you really know good English, you must make use of these proverbs. Then how does one learn them? You learn the proverb by using it again and again. That is what I have tried to show you in this video. If I get comments saying that the video is useful, you will find that you get another video on Proverbs also. There are plenty of Proverbs. You get a dictionary of Proverbs where you can learn. Now, somebody in the comments asked me that you have said you can translate from English to English. Not really. What I said was, when you are learning English, use a dictionary which is English to English. A word is used in English and its meaning is also explained in English. Translate means to use from one language to the other. But here you see, by looking at the dictionary, you find all the words, you cannot get the meaning of the proverb. The proverb has some inherent meaning. Inherent means the meaning which is inside. It is a hidden meaning. And you, by using it regularly, by remembering its meaning, you will be able to use the proverb properly. But please remember that when you have to use the proverb, you have to use it correctly. Whenever you require it, please use it. Don't, just because you've learned proverbs, don't use it in a context where the proverb does not fit in. For this, you need constant practice. I have given you only 10 proverbs here, and those 10 proverbs have their meanings. I have tried to explain it to the best of my ability, and I have also shown you the use of the proverb. The best thing you can do is look at a proverb. Try to think of the experiences in your life or experience of watching a movie, reading a book, somebody, your friend telling you about an incident. Choose an incident like that. Choose a story like that. Use this proverb to begin or end that story. That would be an excellent practice. Very often when older people speak, they might be using proverbs in your own language. You notice, you know your own mother tongue, and you know there are many proverbs there. So try to use those proverbs in your language. Note how they are used, note when they are suitable, and then in a similar circumstance in English, use the English proverbs. Proverbs are difficult to translate from one language to another because they have culture in them. They are specific to a culture. They have the hidden cultural wisdom of the past, of a tradition. So we don't try to translate Proverbs. That is why I gave you the example of translation. There is no need to translate. Learn English proverbs. Use it when you're speaking English. Learn proverbs of your mother tongue. Use it when you're using your own language. Don't try to interchange the two because then you will make a whole confusion. So, for your fluent English, for your better English, for your improvement of English, your self confidence, speaking English impressively, the proverb is a very important key. It's a very important tool. So learn the proverbs and make use of them. Tell me how much benefit it comes to you. Look at the first of our proverbs. The grass is greener on the other side of the fence. This means that whatever other people have, you think is better. What you have, you don't think is good enough. If you have a lawn in your house, the grass might appear to you not green enough, whereas the next door neighbor has a lawn and you feel that grass looks greener. So, this is a very common proverb which people use when somebody is saying that my life is not good enough. I'm not good enough. Somebody else is happier or somebody else has more. So, there we say the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Look at the sentences which we have here. When Tom was envying the easy job that his friend Anne had, his mother told him that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and Anne's job was not easy. You can write an entire story on this, that Tom had a job and Anne had another kind of job. Tom did not like his job, and then he kept saying that Anne's job is much better. I wish I had that job. Then his mother gave him this piece of advice, which is a very old advice. In almost all languages, you have a similar proverb. Think of it, it must be there in your mother tongue also. Now let's move to the second of our proverbs. Don't judge a book by its cover. Very often when we see something, immediately we make up our mind. That is not a very good thing to do. You find a person and you, without knowing that person, you find many faults with that person. Then the saying is, don't judge a book by its cover. The literal meaning is that you look at the cover of the book and you say, oh, this is not good. You read the book and you find it's wonderful. Similarly, with human beings, we should not make up our minds immediately. We should get to know and then only we should say something. That young man may look too thin and weak, but don't judge a book by its cover. He is the weightlifting champion of our college. So although he looks thin, he is very strong. That is what here the proverb implies. All that glitters is not gold. This is a proverb all of you must have come across, because we find that when you see the appearance of something which is very attractive, that might not be the real value of the thing, might be much lesser. So here, very, very well-known proverb, very often used. Look at the usage. The watch I bought because it looked expensive is not working. I should have listened to my father's advice that all that glitters is not gold. You see something very expensive, you think it is the best. No. You see somebody's behavior and then they betray you. Then again you think all that glitters is not gold. You can write stories about these proverbs. That is what many people do. they use the proverb as the starting point of the story, or they tell a story and end it with a proverb. When you are speaking to impress people, you can use that. A bird in hand is worth two in a bush. Now here we have a saying that whatever you have is much better than whatever you are anticipating. You are thinking you will get it, but maybe you might not. So a bird in hand, that means your own possession, is worth two in the bush. Some birds are there on the branch or in the forest. Those are of no use to you. That is the literal meaning. The real figurative meaning, the meaning of the advice is that be happy with what you possess rather than imagining that something is going to come to you. Don't refuse the job offer because the salary is less, as a bird in hand is worth two in a bush. Now you are getting a job which maybe you don't want because it's too less a salary. Somebody tells you that take it because it is a job which you're getting. Suppose you don't get a better job, a higher paid job, then this is better for you. You can write so many things. You have a house, small 2-bedroom house, and then you keep imagining that you will have a palace. So you keep thinking that I want a big house, I want a 10-room house. But what you have should make you feel happy. Here we have a bad workman blames his tools. This also is a very common proverb because very often we do not take the blame ourselves. We try to put the blame on someone else or something else. So a person who's not able to do the work says, oh, because I did not have the correct tools, the correct implements, the correct things to work with. Doesn't blame himself or herself. So here you have the saying, a bad workman blames his tools. It is not only in the case of work, but it might be in any other thing. Suppose you are performing, then your performance is very bad in a cinema or in a drama. Then you say, oh, it was not my fault, the lighting was all wrong. Then we can say, a bad workman blames his tools. Because you are an actor and you should have done better acting rather than blaming on the sets. Here, look at the sentence we have. He blamed the bad pitch for his poor performance in the final cricket match. And they all said that a bad workman blames his tools. So the cricketer was saying, it was not my fault, it was the fault of the pitch. That is where the proverb is used. You can write one whole paragraph or one whole essay using this idea. You can give an entire speech using this idea. A stitch in time saves 9. That is to be careful. When you have to take action, when you have to make a decision, do it immediately. Don't put it off till you get a big tear and you have to put 10 stitches. So a stitch in time, taking precaution immediately rather than waiting for the problem to become huge. The water pipe would not have burst if they had repaired it when it started leaking. A stitch in time saves 9. So here there is a water pipe which is leaking. It is flooding every place. People are suffering. The whole house is flooded. And then you say, that first day when we saw one leak, we should have repaired it. A stitch in time saves 9. This proverb is very important in our materialistic world where everybody is taking loans and spending a lot of money and then running into debt. So we say that cut your coat according to your cloth. Suppose you have a little cloth, then make a short coat. Make a coat which will come out of that. If you plan to make a long coat, the cloth might not be enough. That means Whatever resources you have, use to the best of your ability. Do not exceed your resources, because if you do that, then you will have problems in life. There are many, many people who suffer intensely because they did not keep limited to their means. You would not have had so much debt if you had cut your coat according to your cloth. Suppose you earn these many thousands, then you keep spending double of that every month. Then you run into lot of problems, and there you can use the proverb. You can tell an entire story of a person who has suffered like this, or a person who's very careful with money or very careful with resources. And the entire country you can talk about, where resources are kept very carefully so that the country prospers, it improves. Then you have the next one. Pride goes before a fall. Now here we have a very important proverb, because many of us feel that we are too good, we are excellent. But whenever we start feeling that we are better than others, we might have a disappointment. We might do something which will make us realize that we are not so good. So we should not be proud, which is, overconfident, or proud feeling that we are better than others. After she got the highest marks in class tests, she became overconfident and did not prepare for the final examination and failed. As they say, pride goes before a fall. So here you have a story. This is a student who's got good marks in tests, but she thought, oh, I'm the best. I need not study. And without studying, when she takes an exam, she fails. And then what happens? Pride goes before a fall. That is what everybody would say. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Now, this is very important. The story comes from a girl who's going to the market to sell her eggs. She has hens at home. She's going to the market to sell the eggs. As she's going, she imagines that she will sell all these eggs, and then, she will get a lot of money. Then she will buy some more chicken, and there will be a lot of eggs which she will sell again. In this way, she keeps planning and she keeps planning. She doesn't take care of the eggs which she's carrying to the market. All the eggs fall down, and then she has nothing. That is where the problem comes, that very often we make a future plan, but we don't carry out step by step the processes of reaching the final destination. We just build castles in the air. That also is a very important saying. We will do it some other time. So when I was planning to go on a holiday, with the bonus that I thought I would be getting, my grandmother advised me not to count my chickens before they are hatched. So you see, the story can be told that, I will get so much money next year, I will spend it on myself. But then no money comes next year. Then you get disappointed. We also have another story. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That is very applicable to the way in which you put your money. Suppose you keep all your money in one place, then especially sometimes the bank fails and then you lose all your money. So you have to be very careful as to how you keep your resources. You depend on one thing and not depend on anything else. Then what happens? If that one source dries up, then of course you have nothing left. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. In this volatile market, economy is very bad these days. It is better to diversify your investments following the old adage, don't put all your eggs in one basket. People say that you have to keep investing, you have to keep buying shares and all. But then, if you do it and keep everything in one place, then you might have nothing left. Because volatile means changing. Volatile means not stable, not steady. So these are very common proverbs which we have. With these few proverbs, we start the journey of learning about proverbs. Take each proverb and try to write an incident where either the proverb begins the incident or it ends it. Or write some points about an experience which you had and then say that, I should cut my coat according to my cloth. In this way, you can end whatever incident you're narrating. If you can do this activity, speaking about all these proverbs which you have used, you will find a great benefit to your fluency, to the ability to impress your audience, to be able to speak very well. That is what this exercise is all about. Your fluency, your excellence, your impressive speech, your self-confidence. So keep practicing. All the best and thank you.